By the end of his second term in office, President Trump and his family will have made $3.4 billion in profits. So says a new analysis in The New Yorker, which specifies that the estimated total profits were made possible only by Trump's position as president. Joining me to discuss, Brett Samuels, White House reporter here at The Hill. So in this investigation, author David Kirkpatrick admits to making some estimates to fill in blanks where he doesn't know information, but the article breaks down the flow of money into Trump world in several categories. Brett, one of the biggest is crypto. How does Trump and his family use crypto to make money?
Yeah, Drew, cryptocurrency has really been, in the last year or so, sort of the big rising source of income or business ventures for the Trump family. We've seen the Trump family launch their own branded cryptocurrency. We've seen Trump selling digital trading cards, through his social media channel. We've seen Truth Social and Trump Media, which is sort of the business that runs Truth Social, the social media platform that Trump launched, has essentially turned itself into sort of a crypto-based company. So there's all these different avenues where we've seen Trump try and really lean into the cryptocurrency boom. And of course, that's created concerns among watchdogs and ethics experts who feel like, as somebody overseeing cryptocurrency policy, he's essentially in a position to make policy in an area where he himself is able to profit.
What about in hospitality? We've all heard about Mar-a-Lago down in Palm Beach, Florida, but according to the New Yorker article, Trump actually makes more money overseas.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We've seen, heading into his second term, we saw his sons, Eric Trump in particular, who sort of runs the family business with Trump in office, spoke about how they wouldn't necessarily limit themselves to doing overseas business deals or real estate deals, something that they were a little more, reluctant to do during Trump's first term. But, real estate is sort of the basis for the Trump business empire. We saw Trump himself staying at his own property in Scotland at Turnberry and visiting his new golf course at Aberdeen just a couple of weeks ago. So Trump has these properties overseas. People stay at these properties. If Trump himself stays at these properties, that's money that is charged for Secret Service agents and others to stay there. So, that's a sort of wide net where Trump is able to profit.
And I also wanted to ask you about media profits. We talked about Truth Social previously and how it's become kind of a crypto venture at this point. The New Yorker article puts Trump's profits at Truth Social around $25 million, but there's also this avenue of revenue stream where he's been suing media companies, and these settlements have led to big checks written mostly to the Trump library, I take it. Remind us of the details there, and is that money Trump can actually spend?
Yeah, that's sort of, I think, one of the sources of concern for watchdogs is that Trump is, getting these big media companies like Paramount, like CBS, 60 Minutes, with that case, ABC, to agree to these settlements. And part of these settlements is they agree to pay these, millions and millions of dollars to go toward an eventual Trump library. But, the Trump library is still a ways away. It's something that hasn't been built yet. So, it's not necessarily money in Trump's pocket that he can spend on his own business ventures, but it is money toward a project for Trump that will essentially honor Trump. So that is a concern that these media companies, that Trump is essentially bullying them into settling, and then he is able to kind of reap some kind of benefit from these lawsuits.
I've heard some Republicans in Congress defend Trump's behavior here, saying basically he's kind of doing it all in the open. He's not hiding anything. I don't know exactly how that is a defense, but what is the White House saying? How are they responding to this story?
Yeah, it's sort of similar. I think the White House has long argued that, that Trump abides by, he abides by the law, and they've pointed to the fact that he has his sons running his business while he's in office, so Trump himself is not the one running his business, has long been an argument from this White House. As you mentioned, Republicans like to point to the fact that Trump is not doing this behind closed doors, which, maybe makes it a little more brazen and a little more frustrating to critics, the fact that he is doing it out in the open and seems to be facing no real consequences for it. But, the White House has long maintained that there's no actual wrongdoing here. Trump is a businessman, that he lets his sons run his business while he's in office, and this is just a businessman essentially making money.
All right, Brett Samuels, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Drew.